Excited about having Cody Decker back with us via his home studios here in El Paso. And as you'll be able to see when we replay this conversation on our Zoom call, Cody is all decked out. He is wearing his Padre gear from his playing days. I like that. I mean, after all, Fernando Tatis is now a $340 million man. And you know what? I think that there's only reason why you should be wearing, sporting the Padre love here today on a Thursday.
You got to be excited. If you're a Padre guy, you got to be excited. They had an incredible offseason, probably the best offseason of any team in Major League Baseball this offseason. And I'm including the Mets, the White Sox, two teams that drastically improved and honestly should win both of their divisions. The Padres, however, they're still in the same division as the Dodgers. So if nothing else, we are going to get 17 of the best baseball games, high-intensity baseball games you could ever want between Dodgers and San Diego. And I'm sure everyone on Twitter, both fandoms on Twitter, will be perfectly civil with each other.
Yeah, right. I love it, though. It's a great rivalry. It started really to kick up last season, and I think that the next 5 years are going to be phenomenal as these teams are going to stay in their primes and really challenge each other, which is great to see. And how about the Padres being the first team in MLB history to offer a pair of $300 million contracts? Nobody's done it, and if you would have asked somebody who's the first team, nobody would have ever said the San Diego Padres.
Especially 2 years ago. Everyone 2 years ago, Sadler is the man who's now fully in charge of that ownership group. It's no longer Fowler. Fowler's still around, but when Fowler was in charge, Fowler loves to say a lot of things on the radio. He loves to talk about the players, what for good, better or worse. Sadler just basically is, we're going to win. Let's go win. And AJ Preller has been given the keys of the kingdom. Go get us a World Series, because they don't want to see. I mean, the Padres are one of the very few teams that have no World Series championships. There are not a lot of teams left. It's the Padres. It's the Rays, who started, in 1997. You got the Mariners, who apparently will never even see a World Series. You got the Rangers, who have never won a World Series. The Nationals have won a World Series now, so that you're not left with a whole lot of teams. The Rockies haven't won a World Series, but they've only been around since 1992. The Marlins have been around since 1992, and they've won 2 World Series. So I think the Padres are really tired of not having that any of that hardware, especially with the Dodgers winning the World Series last season. To win and compete in that division, you got to spend some money, and that's just the way it is. And you can't deny that it doesn't work. The price of the San Diego Padres has doubled since 2017.
I know, it's incredible when you start to think about it. Now, I really hope the fans get behind this team and they start packing Petco once they can and return in force again and start supporting this team game in, game out. I'm not talking about the Dodgers series and some of the big ones. I'm talking about every single series. You want to see them fill up the Pirates just like you would anybody else out there and show that San Diego Padres baseball has become the toughest ticket in town.
It's the only circus in town. There's no more NFL. There's no NHL. There's no more NBA. You got Major League Baseball, and that's it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing for San Diego or the Padres themselves. I would like an NFL team to be in San Diego, obviously. I feel like it's a huge city that more than deserves it. But the Padres being the only team there is a chance. This is an opportunity to really create a brand new identity. The only thing I'm sad about that I'm wearing right now, this Padre top right now, is that it's navy blue and white. I have no brown gear. I need brown gear. I wish they went back to brown when I was there. I love it. It's unique. It only belongs to the Padres. And I am just so jazzed up for this season. I think this deal with Fernando Tatis Jr. is a great deal. It's unheard of for many reasons, but it's a great deal. 14 years. Quite frankly, if Fernando Tatis Jr. went out and did exactly what he did in the 60-game season last year, this year, his price point might legitimately get to $500 million. I'm not kidding. And it's mind-boggling that I'm saying that out loud, but it could legitimately happen. So did the Padres just get themselves a steal on a 14-year deal? Another unheard of thing. I don't know. I'm actually inclined to say yes. The Padres just got a steal.
I feel like the 22-year-old gave them a hometown discount, which sounds ridiculous to say that somebody that has less than a full season's worth of games under his belt in his first 2 years can give a team a discount. But so far, the performance has matched the hype. We know that. And you say to yourself, the longer you wait, the more expensive he's going to be. And an average annual value of $24 million for the length of this contract for a guy like that is a steal when you start to look at it.
It is. Now, provided he stays healthy. This is the one caveat to this whole thing. And of course, it could be a house of cards that completely falls down with this one caveat. Does he stay healthy? He has never really played a full 162 game season healthy in his career, and that includes the minor leagues. He's never stayed healthy. Now, I'm hoping that those were just freak accidents and be perfectly fine. He was great last year, and not only did San Diego, but Major League Baseball got to see just how exciting of a ball player this guy is. If you watched a full Padre game, he did something spectacular every night. There's only a couple of guys in baseball that do that. There's Mookie Betts. He does something spectacular every night. Mike Trout does something spectacular every night. Fernando Tatis Jr. does something spectacular every single night, and it's worth the price of admission, and he's worth every penny of this contract as of right now. This was worth the gamble, in my opinion.
Cody Decker with us here on Sports Talk as we continue. Now, I want to talk about the base in a moment because you've got a big event coming up, and you're going to even give our listeners an opportunity to be part of it, which I think is awesome, and we're going to love to hear this because you've got Hit Tracks, and associated with Hit Tracks, that's going to be the event this weekend. But I got to ask you, today was schedule release day around minor league baseball. 142 games. It's going to be weird. AAA West is what Major League Baseball is now calling it. The PCL is dead. They've taken it into just 10 teams. The Chihuahuas are one of them. Look, I'm not shy by saying on this show that I don't like what Major League Baseball is doing. I just hope they don't take the fun out of minor league baseball because they're in the process of trying to. They want to make this more like the big leagues, and there's not nearly as much fun in big league ball as there is in minor league ball. So we know that. If there's no playoffs, that's going to kill it. And I hope that doesn't happen because that's another rumor right now. But give me your reaction to what we've seen over the last week. The new reorganization, the 120 teams, the 10-year PDLs, and now the schedule that is going to feature 6-game series with a Wednesday off day throughout the course of the 2021 season.
Let's tackle that last thing. 6-game series against teams, 1 day off day a week. I'm not against that. That makes travel significantly easier on the players. Now, it's a little weird. Obviously, you're going to play a team 6 days in a row, which means you're going to see their starting pitchers, 2 of their starting pitchers potentially twice. Right. That's a little weird, I got to say. But the travel and the PCL and the PCL days, I can't believe I'm already aging myself. And the travel that was in the PCL is horrific. It really is tough. It doesn't sound like it's tough, but you got 3 to 4 a.m. wake up calls. You got to be at the airport by 5. You're in the air to have a 4-hour layover. You land at 3. You go to the stadium at Tacoma to take batting practice and play your game. It's tough. I'm not going to lie. And you're doing that every 3-4 days. It really is. The travel schedule now is a lot lighter. I like that. I like that guys can more get settled wherever they're playing, whether it's home or away. 1 off day a week. Fantastic move. That's been a long time coming. I don't know what we were waiting for. The other things, though, everything else about this has been nothing short of a full-on catastrophe. Everything. Not one positive thing. The contraction of the minor leagues, catastrophe. The absolute gutting of baseball in a lot of cities throughout the United States, catastrophe. How it's been handled and the information has been relayed, catastrophe. The amount of money that they are going to take from teams, catastrophe. And that's just the money that we know about, by the way. No one's been able to read this, whatever this document is. No one knows what's happening. No one knows if there's a playoffs, catastrophe. Other leagues that had to go the independent route, catastrophe. Bring independent teams in to leverage the teams right now that are currently affiliated, basically holding them up. This was a mob hit from start to finish. This is what mafias do. This is what Major League Baseball just did to minor league baseball. And it's honest to God is the worst thing I've ever watched happen in real time that no one wanted to talk about. It was painful to sit through. Now, let's go to the other thing that you brought up, the alignment of the leagues. Well, they were really, you got to hand it to Major League Baseball. They really pulled out all the stops with their creativity with AAA West and AAA East. And I love AA South, AA. What's the Texas League now? AA
I think it's like Central. Yeah.
Okay, fine. AA, there's no AA West, so I don't know why the AA Central wouldn't be AA West, but whatever. The fact of the matter is that a lot of these leagues not only have verbiage that are commonly used in baseball. For instance, the old phrase, "Oh, that Texas leaguer right there." That's a common phrase used throughout baseball. No longer will exist. It's going to be an answer to a trivia question. What's the Texas League? I don't know. And I don't know. And also the AAA East and West. East has 20 teams. West has 10. Was this put together over a drunk weekend in Cancun or something? This is a mess. This is an absolute mess. I'm okay with it this year because this year is going to be more or less a full-on disaster, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of games that are going to be canceled here and there because of a lot of things that are outside of a lot of people's controls. I'm hoping for a safe and healthy season. I hope everybody gets it in. And I hope, honestly, everything goes off without a hitch. I'm not expecting that, though. The East and West thing, 20-10. Again, was this a drunk weekend?
He's Cody Decker. He joins us here from his home studio in El Paso as we continue from our 600 ESPN El Paso Lubingo studios as well. All right, this question came in on Twitter a moment ago. It's a comment. It's a good one from our pal George Salgado. He's wondering if a lot of minor league managers will now switch to a 6-man rotation to try and match up with the 6-game series so that teams won't have to face a pitcher twice in the same series.
Sounds like a great idea that the AAA, AA, high A, low A managers will have no say in whatsoever. That is entirely going to be an organizational call. The end. Managers in the minor leagues, managers in the big leagues don't really have much say in anything anymore. They are more or less figureheads. They write out the lineup. Usually that's handed to them. That's at the big league level. So imagine how much power a AAA manager has. Would it make sense to have 6-man rotations? Honestly, probably. That would make a little bit of sense, but I don't know how long this schedule is going to last. I don't think Major League Baseball needs to change everything that it does if this is only going to be a 1-year fix. If it's going to go back to a normal schedule next year, the 6-man rotation is going to be quite hectic. Then you're looking at 7 to 8 days between starts for pitchers, and that could be problematic.
I also wonder if this AAA West and AAA East is a 1-year thing just for COVID purposes and travel reasons, and next year, if things return to normal, they would take some teams from the East, move them over to the West, and kind of realign AAA the way it used to be.
Sounds like a great idea, but you are also making the assumption that Major League Baseball has any idea what they're going to do more than 5 minutes from right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's very true. Everything seems like they're just flying by the seat of their pants, and they're just inventing things as they go along more than anything else.
That's kind of the Major League Baseball way. Hey, let's have a universal DH. Wait a second. All the players want it. Owners want it, and fans want it. Well, let's make sure we get something in return. That's how Major League Baseball does things. It's never for the fans. It's always for money.
Let's talk about what you've got coming up at the base, because this is for the kids and it's a great opportunity. That's a big thing you're going to be doing. In fact, you've got a chance to make a couple of our listeners pretty happy. So give me the lowdown on everything that's happening with you this weekend here in El Paso.
Well, I'm really excited. So I've been on here. You've seen it, and I've talked about it before. There's a system called HitTrax. It's a very well-known system throughout professional baseball, and a lot of facilities do have it, but they don't really utilize it. HitTrax is a really, really, really handy tool to have. I used it throughout most of my career. It gives you very, very detailed information that can be very useful, provided you know what to do with the information. That's a whole on different conversation when it comes to baseball between being data informed and data driven. All the data in baseball is so great and important provided you know what to do with it. The problem is people really always misread data. But the thing that you can do with HitTrax is just the possibilities are limitless. So we did a summer league because all the leagues were shut down in El Paso, obviously because of COVID. We did a winter league, same thing. So guys got to get their innings in. They got to give live at bats in. So what we're doing on Sunday is we have a great pitching machine called a Hack Attack. We're going to set that up at about 75, 80 miles per hour, have everybody facing the same thing. And we're going to have a 1-day HitTrax tournament. 5-inning games, double elimination. It's being sponsored by Powerball Bats. They are going to give away a 3 custom Powerball bats to the 3 winners, 3 players per team. It's going to be just a lot of fun. If you've never gotten a chance to really do it, if you ever play Top Golf, basically we're going to be playing Top Golf, but baseball. And we're just going to do it out throughout a day. Second place winners will be getting fresh pairs of batting gloves, brand new batting gloves, and the top 2 teams will get free entry into the next one we do. And I'm really hoping that this goes great and we can end up doing it once every 2 weeks, once a month, maybe once every week. The guys really respond to it. So do the softball girls. It's a lot of fun to get in there and compete. That's the thing about it. Everyone can go to a batting cage and just swing. But when you go to a batting cage and really put yourself in a position to compete against other people, not only compete against other people, but compete with yourself, it just changes the dynamic of the work that you're doing. It's one thing to just go through the motions. It's too easy to go through the motions, but to really get out there and challenge yourself and knowing that there's great prizes involved. I mean, I'm really excited to do it. I'm really, really excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm competing in it. So Daryl Hernaiz, he's competing in it. Orioles prospect. He's not leaving for spring training for another month. So he's going to be competing. He's got his team of 3. I ranked them 1 because it's going to be a tough team to beat. As of right now, I don't have 2 teammates. So I'm leaving it to you, Steve. I need 2 of your listeners to be my teammate on Sunday.
Give me the qualifications I need to know around age group and ultimately what they need to be able to do in order to join Team Decker for this event on Sunday.
All you got to do is either tweet at Steve and tell him the reason, or call in to Steve. Tell him the reason that you should be on my team. It's completely free. You just come and compete, and we are going to try and win some bats. I want a new bat. You want a new bat. Let's get some bats. And by the way, Powerball, El Paso company, great people, really good bat, by the way. So I'm really excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully 2 of your listeners will be joining me on my team.
I love,
and you know,
yes. and
I say it all the time.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. You know, I'm trying to win, and I don't intend to get out.
What kind of pitches will we get? Just fastballs? Will they be breaking balls or just fastballs?
Fastballs.
This is a 75
pitch.
to 80 mile an hour fastball. Oh, you get 1 pitch.
No. You play a whole 5 innings. We're
okay,
a team.
So we're working counts and everything else. Okay.
Everything.
Good.
Full on baseball game for 5 innings.
I love this. I think it's a great idea. And you get to swing with the Powerball bats, which is, listen, Kurt Gross does a terrific job. He's got a Major League Baseball license. He's got big leaguers using these bats. Franmil Reyes has been swatting home runs with these bats over the years, and others have been using it too. You've got your version, your models, and that's great. Do we need high school kids? Do we need college? Do we need some 30 or 40 or 50 or 60-year-old that plays baseball right now that he wants to take cuts at 75, 80 mile an hour pitches?
All are welcome. High school, college, never played a game in your life. You've golfed and you saw baseball one time and you're interested. Come on out and try to compete. We're going to have some fun. It's, if nothing else, it's going to be a good time. You know, a lot of hitters struggle doing these things. A lot, especially on a hack attack machine. It's a tricky machine to hit.
Why? Why is a hack attack machine tricky? Give me the reason.
It's tricky to time because it's a 3-wheel machine. It's being hand fed. So you have to go off that interesting timing. That being said, I used a hack attack my entire career, especially late in my career when I was pinch hitting. I would go up in the hitting, the batting tunnel and basically crank that thing up to 105 and just get ready to hit. It's a great tool to have at your disposal. And I love using it. Our guys love using it. It's really, really helpful because it gives you a chance to work on the most important thing as a hitter, and that's hitting velocity. Baseball is a game of velocity right now. And if you can't hit velocity, you can't play baseball. So it gives you a real good chance to get yourself ready for velocity.
Eddie Morelos just tweeted at DeMayor LC. Love hearing Cody tell it like it is in baseball on 600. Thanks for being straightforward. Well, you know what? If there's one thing I'll say for you, you're always honest. You never hide your feelings or your opinions. That's why you had your own show. That's why you join us time after time. You're a great soundbite, and we've always enjoyed having you on the program. And I'll tell you right now, you and Butch Henry, who pitched 20-something years ago and played in the big leagues, same concept. He comes on, tells it like it is, doesn't sugarcoat things. He's brutally honest. And I love that. I love people that don't hide their true feelings.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's important. I think it's important to hold baseball accountable because baseball doesn't hold itself accountable. And it's up to us, ex-players, journalists, writers, radio personalities, fans, quite frankly, everybody. It's up to us to kind of hold them accountable because Major League Baseball, and baseball's great. I can't stress enough. Baseball is my favorite thing in the world. The business of baseball, however, is a very ugly business. And I really feel like the game itself has been really taken advantage of by some not of the greatest people in the world. And that's okay. but we need to always try to grow the game and make it better than it was. I think it's every baseball player, every coach's responsibility to leave Major League Baseball and the game of baseball in a better place than where we found it. And I really think we get away from that way too often. I think Major League Baseball has become such a moneymaker, such a revenue gatherer that, the good of the game doesn't matter as long as it's making money. Unfortunately, that's so short-sighted, and I hate that. And I want us to really continue to grow the game, because honestly, the more you grow the game and the better places you leave the game, there's actually just more money going to be available in the long run. But that's not how baseball is being operated right now. People buy major league franchises, conglomerates buy franchises, and they flip them 4 years later at a much higher profit. They're not wrong to do that. That's a capitalist society. That's what we do.
That's right.
But
That's right.
Us not putting things in place to safeguard the game itself is a bit of a problem. That's why I think it's important for us to be honest, for us to not sugarcoat it and just pretend everything's fine. Because if we pretend everything's perfect, things go wrong and we don't get a chance to fix it, but until it's too late.
This tweet just came in a moment ago from Ray at Ray_Jackson. Steve should be on the team. What size bat are you swinging, Steve? Cody Decker is awesome. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I want Cody to win, all right? That's the most important thing. There are plenty of people that can get in there, take their cuts, and do well. And I haven't swung a bat in, it's been about 3-4 months when I was actually at Powerball in the cage, and I had Kurt pitching to me with one of his bats, and I was taking BP that day afternoon, which was a lot of fun. But this is for listeners. This isn't for radio hosts. We can do a media event later and have all the media come swing and see who's got the best media swing out there. This is for people like you listening. If you want to be a part of Cody's team, I encourage all of you to do this right now and spend the next 2 hours and 15 minutes calling us, tweeting us, or chatting with us on our app and tell us why you should be on Team Decker.
And by the way, I'm not going to pick the people. Steve, this is on you. You decide who my teammates are. And I don't care if they make every out. Someone on my team's got to make the outs, because it sure as hell ain't going to be me.
I love it. I think it's going to be great. All right, listen, good stuff as always. I'll get you 2 players. That's not a problem. We appreciate you coming on as always, Cody. Thanks for the time.
Thank you for having me, guys. And if you can, check out everything we're doing with the El Paso Border Youth Athletic Association. If you can donate, or even if it's just something as simple as a retweet, every little bit helps. We're just trying to help as many kids get to college through baseball and softball. Every little bit helps. I really would appreciate if you guys check out the El Paso Border Youth Athletic Association.
If you can give out that website right now, that'd be great.
It would be borderyouth.org. One more time, borderyouth.org. Okay. Cap, thank you so much for your time as always. And pick me some players, man. I want some bats.
I just got a guy right now, Pedro. Hey, Steve, I'm in. I want to play on Team Cody, just like that.
Let's go.
All right. It's that easy.
Yeah.